Tuesday, June 21st. The year is 2022. And I'm still here. I was on the phone talking to my doctor. I'm still trying to get some more nasal spray. The nasal spray that really worked well for me, they don't have it anymore. In fact, they're saying that it's possibly discontinued. I was going to be back ordered for months. I'm like, gosh, this was called Beckinese AQ. I wish I can find that mess. But unfortunately, we have to find a substitute. And I'm going to find a different medication. Escape from Niggaville. Escape from Niggaville. Wow. I mean, it's kind of like, how do you get out of it? I keep having these conversations with people who inbox me and we talk about the black community and all these issues. Y'all, it's kind of hard for us to understand when you live in a country where you have no control over certain conditions that have an impact in your life. We all try to pretend as if black folks have control over these issues. But we also have to keep in mind, black people, black Americans in general, we have no control over a couple of things. Banking, issues that affect our communities. Banking, finance, education, healthcare, housing, the neighborhoods, mental health care, food, water. These are all controlled by outside forces that we have no control over. We don't control, there's so much stuff. Unless you're sending your child to a private school with private educators who are creating their own textbooks, researching their own history, we have very little control over any of the stuff that's impacting our communities. Very little control. But we can kind of paint this picture, make it seem like, oh yeah, if black folks did this and they did that, and everything would be so great and hunky-dory. Well, I don't live in that fantasy world anymore. I have to stay firmly rooted in reality because I understand that racism exists. Why do you think these white folks were so up in arms about so-called CRT, which isn't even being critical race theory, that's not being taught in the school system? When they heard about CRT, it's not being taught in public schools, nowhere in America. It's a college, graduate level course for people who are attorneys or going into law to understand how race works in this country, to harm people of different races. It's taught on a much higher level than middle school or high school or grade school. But then white folks were upset. Oh my God, we didn't heard about CRT. They had something a lot of folks had never heard of it. Hell, I had never heard of it because I ain't been in nobody's graduate school. I'm not practicing getting a law degree or nothing. And why were they so upset about this? Why? Because racism exists in this country. It will always exist in the United States of America. This country is based on racist behavior. And I have learned as I've grown older I give black folks a pass. I have to give them a pass because they don't know certain things about black folks. Like my mother, I've had conversation with my mother. I talk to my mother all the time. Okay. And we have these conversations. My mother's 70-something, 80 years of age, but some of the stuff that she learned as a child, my mother is still, how can I say this? My mother is still, her thought process when it comes to certain stuff, she's still dealing with it in a way that she hasn't broke free. And a lot of blacks cannot break free from things we have been taught as children. I view the world completely different than I did 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. I look back at some of the posted videos I said, oh Lord, what was I thinking back then? I just didn't know any better. As you go through life, you learn you learn stuff and you get new ideas and you gain education and knowledge. I realize now the vast majority of issues Black Americans face in this country is a direct result of racism that's sometimes invisible, that we can't even see. That's just based on your zip code where you live at. Or maybe the shopping area where you shop at. Or it could be just based on the city that you live in. Might be based upon maybe where you go shop for your clothing or food. The crazy part is, living in certain neighborhoods, I've noticed certain neighborhoods have better quality foods and fruits and vegetables. Maybe I never paid much attention before when I was younger, but now I pay very close attention to when I go into certain areas. I say, wow, this store is very nice over here. It's a whole different selection of stuff that they don't have on the other side of town. Who decides what's sent to what store? See, we can't keep looking at our situation and blaming us for situations. Because if you live in a neighborhood and you don't have certain types of foods available, or you don't have certain types of medical treatment available for you because of your zip code or the city that you live in or the area that you live in, we have to look at this stuff. And we cannot ignore this. You know, I was just thinking some of the prime example, Flint, Michigan, when that whole situation took place with where they changed the water system that caused all this lead to be all of a sudden to be introduced into the water system. And it took them a long time to fix it, years, because Flint was majority Black. Had that been Grosse Pointe, Michigan, or one of the other well-to-do white neighborhoods, that would never have happened. Never have happened. Never. So when you got neighborhoods, considered neighborhoods that are in zip codes and cities that are majority Black, and there's so many issues going on. You know, you can't if you have an area in Black neighborhoods where they're polluting the water or ground or soil or air by the manufacturers that they allow into these areas, or they purposely put certain things in certain areas. We know this is the United States of America. We know that there are certain companies that make and produce stuff that's bad for the environment and bad for human beings, but it still has to be manufactured and made. But if we can get away by putting this in a minority neighborhood and they can't fight it because they don't even know it's coming, we get it? And this stuff causes mental health issues or health problems, but we don't care because it ain't in our neighborhood because we white folks live on the other side of town. So we cannot ignore this and sit back and say, well, Black folks this, Black folks that. We have to look at the issues that cause these problems. If you live next door to a factory that's producing toxic waste that's harmful to you and your children, making you sick, but you don't really know it because they're hiding this information from you because we need this product to be built, we have to really begin paying attention to stuff around us. And as I've grown older, I've learned that. I've learned that in certain neighborhoods, certain things take place that we don't even know is happening until it is after the problem has exaggerated and blown up. So you can't live in this country. You cannot, we all, Black or white, we can't live in this country and pretend that racism and race issues do not exist, because they go hand in hand in this country. I said this country was founded upon race and holding someone back and slavery, and it's all connected together. And there ain't no way to really disconnect it. There's no way to remove it. There's no way to wipe it clean. We can pretend it don't exist. We can say, oh, we don't want to hear about CRT because that was then, this is now. There's a lot of stuff going on now in 2022 that's still racially motivated. All based upon your zip code, the street where you live on, maybe the address of your house, or even your, years ago I learned your credit report. If you live in certain zip codes, more affluent zip codes, more white zip codes, for those of you who don't know what that means, versus more urban zip codes, niggas, versus white folks, urban black people, affluent white folks. I don't care how y'all want to look at it, y'all can say what y'all want to say. Y'all better listen very closely because this is reality. For years, I kept my credit I rented a P.O. box and kept all my credit information going to that zip code for a reason. Although I didn't live in the area anymore, I still kept my mail going to that zip code. So whenever I apply for credit or anything, I have that zip code. It got everything. Oh, good, you're in that zip code. You live over there. I ain't lived over there in over a decade, 15 years. I kept that zip code in that P.O. box. All my stuff goes there. I did it for a reason. As I was moving around Atlanta in them nigga neighborhoods and shit, I can't put this shit on this damn application. I ain't gonna get shit. Put in that 30317. Nigga, you denied. I'm getting shit there. Throw that shit in the trash. 303-240. Oh, he up in Buckhead. And they go Google it. Oh, shit, he right in the heart of Buckhead. They don't know it's a P.O. box. Over there off Peachtree Street. I did it on purpose. Escape from Niggaville. You want out of Niggaville, you got to learn how to escape. Because when you stay in Niggaville, you're going to have a hell of a lot of road. You're going to have a lot of obstacles to climb. Even the people who have escaped from Niggaville, there are still issues that you have to go through. When I was buying this house, I ran into a myriad of problems, all based upon the color of my skin. It's like, okay. Should it have happened in 2022? Hell no, but it did. All because based upon the color of my skin, me arriving at this house and meeting this crazy white real estate agent who proceeded to cause all this ruckus with he. Well, what do you mean, who am I? Bitch, who are you? You supposed to just be dropping off a damn key and unlocking the fucking door. She Facebooking me and doing all this shit and background checks for me. For what? You don't own this house? Bitch, you just a realtor. And create a big ruckus where I almost didn't buy this house. I was like, y'all, let's go someplace else. I don't want to deal with them crazy white folks over there. I really did not want to deal with it. Right at the very beginning, I said, we walking away from this shit before I have to whip this bitch ass. But we held in there because we couldn't find nothing else that we really liked. And I thought this was a good deal of a house for the money and what I could do with it. I said, fuck that crazy bitch. But at the same time, a lot of black folks have been like, we moving on. We ain't got time to deal with that shit. Some people get tired of dealing with crazy shit. I don't want to deal with these racist white folks and their foolish ass behavior. I said, luckily, this house sits way up on top of a hill, and it's hard. When you come up that hill, you're almost like, you come up that hill and knock on that door a few times, you're going to get tired of going up there knocking that nigga. Never open that damn door, you damn skinny. I'm peeking out your ass. I'm peeking out the peephole. Oh, that white bitch back up here again. I ain't opening that door, honey. And packing my E's over there, and I got a little electric button, and hit the button on closing blinds. Lord knows I can just come up with some more money and put an electric gate out there at the front of that foot hill. They can get up there and hit that driveway. That's my next option. Yeah, electric gate up there. Good, they can't get up the driveway. Maybe them bitches be clamming the damn gate like the movie from Dawn of the Dead. It's like, oh, these white folks clamming the damn gate. God damn. But electrify it. They're turn on electricity. With my electricity, zap their ass off the damn gate. No one should have to live like that just because of the color of your skin. I think every house I've ever owned was beautiful. Every house. I love landscaping. I love making my houses look. I live in the house. Ever since I was a little kid, my father had a beautiful house. I said, I want to have a beautiful house too. I've never lived someplace that was a slum. Ever. You think that white folks happy for me because of that? And I got pretty gas lanterns on my house. And a lusty landscape yard and bees and birds chirping out there and deer eating the fruit in the backyard. You think they care? Because in their eyes, I'm still a nigga on top of this hill. And what he up to? That nigga. That's how they operate in this country. I keep having these conversations. And I keep having these conversations with these niggas and people on Facebook and Instagram. For what? Y'all don't get it. We keep blaming black folks. Black folks did this and black folks did that. But I've learned we ain't responsible for a lot of shit that we are happening in our communities. Some stuff is being purposely done against us, and has always been. Well, what are we supposed to do? Nothing? Well, no, we can do things. But it's going to be kind of hard when you don't control the banks. You don't control Kroger. You don't control the food that comes to your neighborhood. You don't control, there's so much that we have no control over, and they're not going to let us get the control over it. Y'all think that was just an anomaly when they destroyed Black Wall Street back at the end in the day? We got modern day cities, and they have been destroyed by white folks in their racist behavior, meddling in our affairs. Modern cities, Gary, Indiana, I lived in it. I know what they did to Gary. I know what they did to Gary. I try to explain to people, don't I hear, black folks destroyed Gary. No, they're starting it, but then white folks pulling all the resources out of Gary. Draining Gary of the banks and stores and retail and the tax base, draining it. They wanted to kill Gary, and they did. And they didn't just do it to Gary. They did it to Gary, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Chicago, New York. Y'all better learn, we need to understand our history. Some of us walk around here blind and not paying attention to what has happened in this country and what's continuing to happen in this country. I'm not a fool. I know what's going on here in the United States of America. I'm not stupid sitting over here. How can we do about it? What can we change? Ooh, Lord, that's a good one. When y'all figure that out, let me know. That's the $1 billion question. Because these white folks are fighting tooth and nail to keep black folks down. And you got a lot of black folks who are so blind. Oh, I just love Donald Trump, and I'm a Republican, and I'm a conservative, and they don't realize that's all working against your black ass. You done laid in bed with the devil and don't even know it. You that ignorant and stupid. So a lot of ignorant people out here. I always think about that comedian. He's at a TV show every time, but he had a class. The black guy dressed up as a classman. The black guy was blind and didn't know he was a black guy, and he was racist, but he didn't know he hated black folks, but he was actually black. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That comedian. That shit was funny as hell. Hilarious. Sick of these damn people, these high-ass prices. Somebody just sent a quote over here. God damn it, price. When they send these quotes over here to do this shit, this is how I had to pick myself up over before. I said, I didn't even read that text message. I do it myself. Why is everything so expensive these damn days? I'm like, oh, Lord, y'all, please go back in the house and close your doors. I don't need air conditioning. Shit. And you think I'm paying that type of money to get some... they got these fucking minds. It's crazy. You have to wonder, though. We all think that black folks are responsible for the way their neighborhoods look, the way the school system, the education system that's in disarray. These teachers have no control over these high schools no more. I have so many friends who are working in education who walked away from the school system because the kids, there's just so much chaos in these classrooms. When I was growing up in Gary, Indiana, they beat the crap out your fucking ass. And the animals were not running the zoo. The students definitely were not running the students. You respected those teachers. You think them white folks wanted that to happen, and they wanted y'all to be educated and mannerable kids and well-mannered and trained and all this stuff. You think the white folks wanted that? Y'all, just help me understand. Do y'all really think white Americans really want, the vast majority of white Americans really want what's best for black folks? We want y'all to have nice houses and education and be college educated and beautiful neighborhoods, and we want y'all to have the best. Y'all really think them white folks want that for you? Your black ass. My black ass. Really? You can't be that naive. You be like, you sound like my mother, Berta Hampton. I need to get her in here right now because we was arguing today ago. I said, where do you get that? My mother crazy as hell. My mother crazy as hell. She a Christian. She don't know no better. She go batty crazy. I love her with all my heart, but my mother is crazy. Religion has warped her mindset. Everything gonna be all right. In what world you living in? You'd have to be insane to think everything gonna be all right when these devious white folks are trying everything to destroy your community, your marriages, your family, your children, your education. They're trying everything behind the door. They feel that she's working on her. June 21st, 2022, as I'm doing this video, they over there, I hate them niggas. Yeah, we gonna get destroyed this shit. Yeah. Y'all don't get it, do you? How do you escape from Niggaville? Maybe death. When you die. Maybe that's when maybe that's your ticket out of here. Maybe that's the answer. Very hard being a black person in this country, and anybody tells you otherwise, they tell you a fucking lie. Oh, we made it. Tyler Perry made it. They're gonna all list all these people who secluded in their mattress, doors closed. But the vast majority of niggas living in poverty. I don't want y'all to point to a few that seem to have transcended out of this mess and living a whole other life and actually now playing a part in what the chaos and confusion going on over in this community. Tyler Perry's movies and plays and so that mess that y'all love. Anyway, I got other stuff I need to do. I got to take a shower. I had a shower all day. I was over here walking around here. Today was one of those days where there was no work. This past few days, I said, thank God. After they did this horrible paint job on these walls, I'm furious. I should have left them walls alone, listen to the motherfuckers. They came here and ruined it. And I got to repaint it. Oh, it's fine. They took the trim paint. I walked away for about an hour or two to take care of something when they were painting the house. Them Mexicans took the paint that was the trim paint and put it on the walls. Everywhere. Everywhere. I walked in here and I said, this is the wrong paint. Y'all done took the trim paint, put it on the walls, and the wall paint put it on the fucking trim. What the fuck is going on here? But it was too late. It was everywhere. I said, okay. You didn't spend all my damn ruin my just that fast while I was gone. How this mix up occurred, I don't know. They don't read English. They took the semi-gloss trim paint that was for the trim and sprayed it on the walls. Now, from a distance, you probably say, well, don't look at that, Walter. Oh, Walter's fine. You just be, but I'm like, okay, this is trim paint. These walls are not supposed to look like this. They all look at it, oh, Walter, it's okay. Don't pay no attention. This is fine. Then he said, come back there. Like, well, they did do it wrong. He said, I see what you see now. I said, it's too late now. It's up there now. I want you to repaint the whole fucking house. You didn't want to get paid. Y'all know what that paint cost? I was gone just for an hour or two. I was just ran to take care of something. They was prepping the walls. I said, don't start painting until I get back. And just that fast, whoo, it was a catastrophe. I can't deal with that no more. I can't babysit these damn workers. From here on out, if you can only come in this house and do work if you can read English and talk English properly. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not being racist. I just can't keep going through all this confusion. How the fuck did you grab up the wrong paint? And then at some point in time, y'all should realize this isn't right. Now I'm being forced to accept this flaw. I was curious. It took me a few days to calm down. And I get, can we come back? We correct? You're not going to go through that. I mean, I got to buy all new paint. And I got to go through y'all repainting this shit. No, we done. This is going to live with this mess. I had another friend, he walked in, he looked at it, he said, well, it's fine. He said, well, just leave it alone. It's fine. Now, they put the wrong paint. He's like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Every time I look at it, it makes my blood boil. And I just had to go lay down. Like, they didn't put the fucking wrong paint on these fucking walls. How the fuck did this happen? And they didn't want to get paid. On top of all the bitch bullshit they didn't get over here. So you know I'm holding a lot of money over here. You niggas I ain't getting none of it because you didn't fuck this shit up. Anyway, I'm gonna take a shower. Escape from Niggaville. Sounds good on paper, but in reality, you might not be able to get out of there. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, the year 2022. I'm out of here. I'm gonna take me a shower. And I'll speak to y'all later.